What's up, y'all? Welcome to Monday Night Live. So excited to be on tonight with somebody who I've really loved getting to work with for the last several weeks, and somebody that she has recently introduced me to. So you're going to love tonight's call. Before I introduce, actually, I think this is coming first before I do the announcement. Okay, no, it's not. Before I introduce our people, I want to remind you of the Gold Getaway. Okay. Gold Getaway, if you're on our team, you should know about this retreat that's taking place in the fall. There are only 29 spots left, which means you better get in while the getting is good. But you have to qualify to attend. So there's 3 different ways that you can qualify to attend. Number 1, you can have ranked up between November of last year and September of this year, gold or above. So if you're a new gold and you've hit it between those months, or if if you're gold and you're going to hit senior gold, that would qualify you. Or you can enroll 6 new ambassadors per quarter. So that would be quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, etc. Or you can develop a new level 1 gold between November and September of 2025. And we are going to teach you tonight how to develop new golds. Okay. So I'll tell you why in a minute. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. Let me find my mouse. 30 spots left. That's actually 29. Update 29. You can secure your spot now. It requires a $100 deposit. That covers your 3-night stay in our cabin mansion. You've seen us go there multiple years in a row. The FOMO is real. And so if you've seen us go and have karaoke nights, have bonfires, and you're like, man, I want to get there, you can. You just got to claim your spot and then hit one of those qualifications. It also includes your food, workbook, name tag, etc. So you do want to be there. You just snag that QR code to grab you a spot. It's also in the team page. Okay. If you're going to Gold Getaway and you've already registered and snagged your spot, let us know in the comments. Okay. No, I want the host. Okay, we're going to go back to the slide in a second, Chelsea. But first, ta-da, Chelsea. Chelsea and I met on the top 50 trip to Portugal back in 2021, I think. We're both former school teachers. She's a coach's wife. She's a mom of 2 girls. But we are polar opposites, which is so fun. When I decided that there was a need for a system for increasing our silver to gold development rate, and I was thinking, who would I like to power partner with on this project? She came to mind because she's so strong in so many areas where I am not. Number 1, organization. So I tend to be a little all over the place, and she just can kind of take it in stride and compile it, and it all makes perfectly good sense. She brings a softer approach, which I think my team really needs, and I bring kind of a more aggressive, direct approach, which she says her team really needs. And so it's been such a fun dynamic. Chelsea, go ahead and say hi.
Hey everybody. I could not agree more. I was just telling right before this chat, my husband came in, and I think that's one of the really beautiful things about this industry and just about Plexus in general is that there are so many different personalities and so many different leadership styles, and there's not one cookie cutter way to do this. I'm introverted. There's extroverts who do this. There's Enneagram 3s. There's Enneagram 1s. That there is a place for everybody, and it's about learning to plug in your strengths and lean into your strengths, but also be willing to lean into your weaknesses and see where you can grow. So I've enjoyed it too. And I'm excited, especially for round 2, now that we've kind of got round 1 under our belts.
Yeah. Round 1, what a learning curve, right? Speaking of round 1, if you are currently in the gold standard container, we would love to hear your takeaways so far, areas where you've noticed growth in yourself because of the container. We'd love to see wins that you've had because of the gold standard container. I think sometimes when there's a new opportunity out there, some people battle the idea of, is this just one more thing? How do I know this is what I need? And so I think seeing some wins, seeing some takeaways, seeing some growth opportunities that have come from the gold standard container in the comments would be so super helpful. So if you're in there or if your team is in there, we'd love to hear what you're loving about that container so far. I won't get to see it because I can't see the chat. So you guys better be flattering. Just kidding. Okay, let's get into this. So start with, why did we create this group? I'll tell you why we created this group. We noticed, we being the leadership team here, Brittany and I have had many a conversation about what do we have to do so that your team can get the same results you can get. because I would often find myself feeling discouraged. Like, I don't understand. I don't know how to help my people get results I can get. If I can create a new level win gold in 60 days, how do I help my team be able to do the same thing? And that's really important to me. It's really important in network marketing and in building a successful business, is that everything that you find success doing matters zero if someone else can't find the same success doing the same thing. And so we discovered that we had a pretty good silver development rate team wide. For those of you that don't track metrics or you're not really sure how to know if you're on par, for every 10 joins that you have, ideally 2 to 3 of them would be going to silver. So a 20 to 30% silver development rate we want on average. So if you're starting out, you're like, man, I already have 10 customers and I don't have any silvers, then you know that that's kind of the focus. We need to help somebody catch the vision. We need to practice overcoming their objections, and we need to get them some results. If you love the products enough to share with others, then so should someone else. Okay. So we were noticing that the silver development rate was pretty good, but the silver to gold development rate was not so good. It was good in pockets. Somebody might have a high silver to gold rate, somebody else might, but team wide, it wasn't where it needed to be. So I was like, okay, let's create a space where people can plug people in to a proven process and system, and let's just give this a shot. So that's what we did. This kind of was birthed out of a desire to give you a resource that would help you feel confident about telling somebody, I can show you how to make money here. I can help you be successful here. I know how to get you through the first 3 ranks. Come with me. So that's kind of how it got here. It was designed to help self-motivated, disciplined people go quickly to gold within their first 60 days. So it's a 60-day container, and that is kind of the why behind why we created it. So, all right, this is you, Chelsea, right?
Yeah. So I want to chat about, I think one of the smartest things that we can do as leaders, and that's truly leveraging a good system like this. You've got to learn, especially in this industry, how to duplicate yourself, because like Christina said, you can sit there and pop out level 1 golds all day long, but if you're not teaching your level 1 golds how to then turn around and do that, you're going to be spinning your wheels, and you're going to be dealing with attrition and drop off and being a one-woman show. And the beautiful thing about Plexus is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel to grow a thriving team. Great leaders learn and lean into what works, even if they weren't the ones who created it. And I can assure you that everything that Christina and Brittany and Emily and all the other jewels on here and I have learned in this industry, we've learned it from somebody else who's already gone before us. We learned it from a training. We learned it from a guru. We learned it from a book that we read. We learned it from a podcast that we've sat under. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay. That is how you scale. You learn, and then you turn around and you duplicate your own learning. That's how you go from adding 1 silver to adding 5 or 10 without burning yourself out. So this next 2-month round that we're plugging into is exactly that. The first round that we did, Christina kind of mentioned, it was kind of our trial run. We were kind of throwing all our ideas in a pot and kind of organizing it. I feel like we have, and I feel like it's been great, but we have an even better grip on what round 2 is going to look like. But it's all been based on things that have worked and are currently still working to grow our teams. It's a proven system and a container that's going to help you save time. It's going to help you build your confidence, and most importantly, help you mentor multiple people at once without needing to carry everything yourself. And I think that's really the goal. I'm certainly not here to micromanage every new person that comes in. I think that's a recipe for burnout, and frankly, not equipping your team, because when you are a one-woman show, does anybody sometimes feel like a one-woman show? Drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever felt like a one-woman show at home, in Plexus. If you are playing that game, I promise you are going to drop the ball somewhere. Ask me how I know. It's the last week of school here, and if I forget to send one more thing into school, it's just a show here. This group is here to equip you and to empower you to help other people rise without having to do it all for them. This is going to give you something solid to plug people into so that you can confidently invite, knowing that there's structure, knowing that there's training and community already in place. And instead of coming out and saying, I don't know how to lead someone, because I think there really is a true fear, or at least there was for me in the beginning. I was afraid to share this business because I wasn't clear on either what I was going to do if they actually said yes, or how I was going to have the bandwidth to mentor that many people. I think sometimes we can have a fear of yes more than we can have a fear of no. And so what this group does is actually frees you up to share more boldly because you can say, "Hey, I know exactly what I'm going to do to you, do with you once once you say yes to this opportunity." It really frees you up to be more bold and cast more vision to bring the right people in with you and say, "Hey, I'm going to plug you right into this group. And I'm going to walk beside you as you go." And here's the really neat thing about this is that as we continue running these groups every couple of months, there's an opportunity for you to then step up in the next group and lead within these groups so that you can play a firsthand role in shaping your next leaders. We've already asked a couple of you who have had success in this first group to help facilitate some of the trainings and some of the things that we're posting in round two. And that's really the beauty of this too, is that it's going to create opportunities for those new leaders that you're shaping and bringing in to step up and step into those places of leadership too.
Absolutely. So who is the gold standard container for? The gold standard container is for anybody who has either recently hit silver or is going to hit silver, who is ready to get to the next level. So if you're here and you're like, man, I think I'm going to do this. You might not have anybody on your team yet, or you might have one or two, but you're thinking, man, I think I do want to level up. That is who this container is for. So I also want to speak for a second. Maybe you're in the container this first go round and you kind of maybe bought into the idea that overwhelm, or like when we started this, like I said, sometimes it's that idea of, is this one more thing? I don't know if I should leverage this, what to do. And so maybe you were kind of a fly on the wall this go round. You just kind of wanted to get a lay of the land, see how the group flowed, probably wanted to vet Chelsea and I, make sure that what we were teaching your people was going to be solid. And hopefully now you have figured out that absolutely, we're here to serve your team and to do everything that we can to help you get what you want, which is always increased in rate by how quickly you can help other people get what they want. And so the goal of the group is help people get what they want. If they want to increase their income, increase their rank, this is how they can do that. And now you're like, man, I wish I would have leveraged this group the first go round. We just want you to know it is time to hit the ground running. You absolutely can choose to dial up your participation in this second round. So if you know that you want to build something that's real, but you know that you need a little bit of confidence and clarity, and you crave structure, mentorship, and a clear plan, then this next round absolutely is for you. And here's the best part. There's proof now. I think one of the scariest things when you're starting something new as a leader in this space is, what if this doesn't really go so well? And the good news is it's going well. We have proof of that, proof that when you work this system, when you show up and do the work, you can get results. So we've seen people in this system gain traction. We've seen them build belief. We see people doing more than they ever have and making progress to and past and, almost to the area of gold. We've had rank ups last month. We've had people develop many new silvers. We've had people growing their points. In April, they had a challenge to grow their points by 30, and they would get an opportunity for a special one-on-one coaching with Chelsea and I. We had several who earned that, and maybe their points hadn't increased in months, but last month they were able to grow by 30 points, which is really significant. The system is working for those who are working. And so that should give you confidence as a leader to want to leverage that. So if you're willing to lean in, you're willing to take action and apply what you're learning, this next round that starts June 1st could change everything for you. You don't have to have it all figured out, you guys. We're here 9 years in and we don't have it all figured out. You just have to decide that you are ready to move.
Well, I'm super excited to just kind of get to hop in here and introduce one of the people who Christina was referencing, who did take advantage of this group, who did come in with the right energy, who did come in and lean into the trainings and really just lean into this idea of, gosh, I want to get out there and cast the vision because I know I have a solid place to plug people into. So I'm going to ask Libby to unmute. She is a brand new senior gold on my team. She ranked up in April. And not only did she rank up in April, she developed 7 new silvers on her team. And I'm going to let her share her story and just kind of talk about how that happened. But from the outside looking in and the conversations that we had, this girl just flat out went all in mentally. She went all in with action, which she's going to talk about. But the biggest thing she did was she went all in mentally. She is so laser focused on where she's going and where she's leading her team. And she's an unstoppable force. So Libby, I would love for you to just kind of unmute and share a little bit about your experience kind of in the gold group and what you feel like shifted last month for you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, what an introduction. Thank you so, so much. Okay, so couple things. What I want to give y'all some numbers because numbers don't lie. So I hit gold for the first time in September of last year. I was in the middle of the mayhem, and by mayhem, I mean planning a wedding in 75 days before my husband deployed. Yeah, I'm slightly chaotic, but it's fine. We get everything done and it's fine. So I hit gold and then life happened as it does, but I definitely used that as a crutch and I fell back in points. And in February of this year, I fell all the way back. I had 66 points. And I was like, okay, this is not it. My husband deployed, and so I was like, cool, great, you're gone. March is my month. We're going for March Madness. And so I went for it in March and I'm looking at my points. In March, I had 131 points. Okay, so I was like, yes, I re-ranked gold. Fantastic. This is lovely, wonderful. And then we got on one of the calls, and Christina really stepped on my toes in the best way because I love tough love. Like, I love it. It's my love language. Like, I want you to step on my toes. I want y'all to be a little bit rude. Like, that's how, like, I don't like, it's funny that Chelsea is like the best leader because she is so like warm and fuzzy with me. And sometimes I'm like, I really just need you to be mean for a second. Like, just be mean to me for a second. She stepped on my toes because I realized it was not a flex that I had gotten to gold by myself twice. Once is fine, whatever, that's fine. You're building it by yourself first, whatever. But if you're going to build to gold twice, what are you not doing? You are not sharing the income opportunity. You are not. And if you say you are and you built to gold twice, I had to have this like come to Jesus moment where I was like, Elizabeth Ann, that's my legal name. I had to be like, Elizabeth Ann, like, what are you doing, sister girl? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, okay, I need to trust that I have a container to plug people into. And so I did. And the second time that I really had this like stepped on my toes moment was the first accountability sheet to fill out. And I will tell you, I wasn't working my business the way that I thought I was working my business. And that hurt. Like, that hurt my heart because, like, if you go to my Instagram, it's like, oh, yeah, she's cute. She posts all the time. But what are you posting? Is it meaningful? Or are you just spinning your wheels? And I really had to dial in and I really had to get focused. And I used ChatGPT for that. If you guys are anywhere near me, you know that I love ChatGPT. Her and we are besties. And so I really dialed in. But one of the things that I really focused on in that accountability sheet was my messages. And I'm going to be a bit vulnerable here for a hot second. And this isn't to be a woe is me story, but I found myself in this position. I remember I said this to Chelsea. I was like, sending this many messages feels like online dating. And I got married so I never would have to get on Hinge ever again. Like, this is what this feels like. Like, I'm just having like I don't really want to know your favorite color. I don't really want to know these things, but I know that on the other end of this is going to be great. And so I send probably on average between 40 and 60 reach outs a day. 59 because 59 reach outs is when Instagram like tells you to stop and you have to change your wording. And I'm like, okay, gotta switch it up. But I say that, and I said this to Chelsea and Christina earlier. I know that that sounds like a lot, but like, let me hold your hand when I say this. Not everybody is going to respond. We are not that cool. Like, like I had to like have that moment to myself where I'm like, sure, I might send 60 messages. And I remember when I first thought about that, I was like, I don't know how I can be in 60 messages a day with people. Okay, well, sweetheart, not everybody is going to respond. Like, a lot of followers and a blue check and a cute face isn't going to do it. Like, not everybody is going to respond back to you. It's just like a dating app. Like, you're going to swipe right, not everybody's going to swipe right. You know what I'm saying? So, I just really had to dial in. And I remember there was a day when I did not want to send another reach out. I didn't want to send another one. And my husband, who is currently deployed in the Middle East, sent me a picture of him having to go outside in 110-degree weather wearing goggles because he was in the middle of a sandstorm. And I remember sitting to myself thinking, I was like, honey, to myself, I said to myself, I was like, Elizabeth Ann, you are throwing a hissy fit about sending a copy and paste reach out message to a random stranger on the internet, and your husband is getting pelted by sand in the Middle East, having to use a porta potty because they don't have plumbing. Get it together. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. So I don't know what your sandstorm is. Like, I don't know what that is for you, but each and every one of y'all have it. There is something there where you're just like, at the end of the day, that is so much harder than sending reach outs. And I think too, like switching your mindset that like, don't get your feelings hurt if somebody doesn't respond back. Like, that's going to happen because you can't say the right thing to the wrong person and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And so I think I also got in a spot where I was like, the veil lifted for me because I was like, I'm in this position where I can boldly share about this income opportunity because I'm going to onboard people and immediately plug them into this group and be like, fantastic, fabulous. We just got to keep going. And you just keep adding and you just keep adding and you just keep adding. And I developed 7 silvers last month and we ended at 296 points. So to go from February, 66 points, thugging it out by myself, building this, letting my ego get in the way and be like, I'm going to do it all myself. No, girl, put your pride down, put your ego down, find your sandstorm and lean on things that people have made, right? Like that's where leadership is born, is where you can plug people in and trust in those people. And that was really hard for me to get over, was to trust that other people would buy into the dream. But when you're dreaming big and you're talking about your dream, yeah, of course. And this was something Chelsea and Trisha and I got on a call one time, and Trisha was like, well, you have to trust people. I was like, right, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But you can do that. And you can trust in people because you can trust in this container that you're going to plug them into. So last month was magic, and now because the vision was so high, I have a lot of my girls going for gold, which is crazy. And this isn't gonna jinx myself, but if I've got this like wall of all of my points on the wall, and if all of my girls on my team hit all of the goals that they set for this month, which obviously there's going to be attrition, life happens, but if everybody does it, we will grow by 1,248 points. And I'm just like, but what in the world is happening? But it can happen. And I know that that sounds crazy, but when you have systems like this, like the goal, like this container, things like that can happen. I'm in the middle of chaos again, and I'm just like, I said to Chelsea today, I was like, I my grandpa passed away two days ago. So we're like trying to work through all that. And I said to Chelsea, I was like, is it selfish for me to continue to want to dream? And it's not, because I don't have to do this all by myself because of this container and all of the resources that it provides. And that's the beauty of this industry, right? That's the beauty of this industry, is you can go and you can grieve with your family, but also at the same time, I love what I do. Today I like took a step back to like heal my heart for a second. I'm like, I'm bored. Like, I've cried all that I can. I'm bored and I miss my team and I miss my girls. And I wish that I could just pop on social media. And I said to Chelsea, I was like, I feel like that's very distasteful to be like, my papa just died, but like, oh my gosh, you're my pink drink. But like, when you love something so much, that's what it can be. And Chelsea and I said, like, what other industry is there where you can like openly say to your team, like, I couldn't just go into corporate America and be like, hey, I'm gonna be checked out for a while. Can y'all carry the load for me? Like, be so for real. Nobody would do that. But here they would. And that all came from trusting and believing not only in people, but also in the systems that Chelsea and Christina have created. So I'm going to be done because I could yap for a while. I am a certified yapper.
A certified yapper. Listen, we will let you yap. I mean, I don't know what else we need to say. If that did not make people want to be in that container. You said you went from what point? Let's just repeat. You went from what points in February?
Yeah, let me look at it. So February, I had 66. And then in March, I had 131. And then in April, I had 296.
And she
And
called me the
yeah.
morning, what was it, were the 30 days in April?
Oh,
She called me the morning of April 30th and she had one silver. And she said, Chelsea, I don't know where the points are going to come from. That's what she said to me. I said, there's still so much time. And the thing, and this is what I'll say, and I don't know if Libby actually touched on this because maybe she's too humble to say this, but the reason that she attracted so many girls to go silver is because she is so, if you can't tell, she is sold out on Plexus.
yeah.
She's sold out. I put her Instagram handle in the comments. Y'all go follow her. She is, you follow her for a day and there is no doubt in your mind where that girl is headed. And I think that's what a group like this, it gives you the confidence to be able to show up like that, to be able to show up knowing exactly where you're going and exactly how you're going to get there. And I think that was the biggest shift for you, Libby, because people want energy.
Yeah.
They want energy, and you don't have to have a big personality like Libby. Like, praise the
Oh,
Lord, because I don't have a big, beautiful personality like Libby. You don't have to have that to be successful. You just have to be willing to walk boldly in the direction of your dreams.
Absolutely. Agree
Yeah.
with all of that. Can y'all see this again?
Yep, we can see it.
All right. I agree with everything that you said, Chelsea. Libby, you inspire the heck out of me. Your energy. People say energy. It's your energy, kid. All right. So, Chelsea, this is you as far as resources go, I think.
Yeah, and I think one of the things Libby mentioned is just the resources that are available in this group. And this is one of the aha moments that she had. It was like, wow, I actually need to be plugging more into messages. The formula that she's using, and she's, pumping it up. She's sending more messages than are indicated, on the sheet. But that's what she's doing is she's prioritizing these tasks and prioritizing messages, infusing her own unique energy to it and vision casting. And y'all, it's working. It's working. Everything that you need is built into this group. Checklists, trainings, vision, encouragement, literally everything that you need is laid out. It's just a matter of, are you going to take hold of it and do it personally and teach your teams how to do it? I think the difference between those who are not the only difference, there are some of you who are putting in the work. And I want to say this wasn't actually even planned, scripted on here. I'm just going to interject this. There are some of you guys who are showing up and you're doing work and you haven't seen the fruit yet. And I want to encourage y'all that you may have to go through this group once or twice to really get a feel for this. Maybe you don't have a big, bold, red personality like Libby does, and maybe you're a little more subdued like me. Y'all have heard me say it took me 6 months to go gold. I don't want it to take you 6 months to go gold, but maybe your journey is a little bit different. And so if you're coming to the end of this and you're feeling any type of way, or you're feeling any kind of guilt or shame around, gosh, like I feel like I have put in some of the work. I feel like I have shown up. I feel like I am sending messages. It's okay to end this 2 months together and look at some of these resources and say, okay, maybe for this season, I need to dial up my messages because I just didn't come into this with the same level of influence as somebody else did. I didn't come into this with the same skill set that somebody else came into. We want to encourage y'all to take some time to reflect before this next round starts. Look at those areas where maybe you need to dig a little bit deeper, grow your skill set a little bit more, go and listen to some of those recordings and trainings again, and get ready to dive into round two. Because everybody's path, like, yes, the goal is 2 months, but everybody's path is different. So if you're feeling any type of way about that, the resources are going to be the same. The path is still the same. It's just, we're going to readjust. We're going to readjust the sails. We're all heading in the same direction.
Chelsea, can I add something too?
Sure.
Another thing to keep in mind too, like I know that like when you're first getting into this, it feels like a lot, right? Like that first accountability check-in sheet that you fill in, you're like, dang, this is kind of a lot. But what I want y'all to keep in mind, and I have this actually like written on my calendar out in our kitchen. I have a number of max out days. Like those are the days that I am putting in like maximum effort. It's not gonna be forever. And so, like, yes, you may be like, I'm in a season where I'm like running ragged. Like we are in it, faces in the phone, but it's not always going to be like that. And I think sometimes when you can start a group like this, you're like, it's very easy to get discouraged and be like, dang, is it always going to be like this? And it's no, it's not always going to be like this. Is it going to be like this for a season? Yes. But again, find your sandstorm that makes you be like, okay, I can do this for a hot minute. I can do this for a hot minute. Like I know for me, we got 19 more max out days. And then we'll take a break, we'll regroup and come back. But you can do this for so many days. And just like keep that in mind that it's not forever. It's not a forever thing. But that short amount of push will get you X amount like further, if that makes sense. I hope that I said that right.
Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do you know if you should say yes to this or if your people should say yes to this? This is not for everybody, and that's okay. If you're wanting to work your business a little more sporadically and not consistently, that's probably not the container for you. But if you're watching this and you're like, man, that is what I want my points to grow like that. I want to feel that excited and energized, then maybe this is the container for you or the space for your people. So if you're ready to show up, take action, follow proven strategies, then you absolutely need to be inside this container. And it starts on June 1st. So you do have to qualify to be in this container, and we will show you how to do that. So this is me. Okay, number one, you have to hit silver by May 31st. Okay, you have to be silver, no exceptions around that. So if you don't know how to go silver, we can help you with that. If you have someone on your team, here is how you leverage the gold standard container to get them to go silver quickly so that they qualify. Okay, so I would be inviting anybody who's open to building a business so that they know that they have to rank up within a certain amount of time in order to be in it. So it might look like something like this. Hey, Chelsea, because I know you said you wanted to create some real change for your family and that you've got a dream that goes beyond where you are right now. I don't want you to miss out on what's in front of you this month. If you were to go silver in May, just 3 people saying yes, it's not just a win for you on paper. It's actually a door opening to some momentum that you've been creating. Here's what happens if you do. You'll earn your cash bonuses, you'll gain belief through recognition, and you would also qualify for the gold standard container that's starting in June, a space that's been proven to launch brand new business builders into back-to-back rank up months. This is where speed meets strategy. And then you kind of list off what's in it for them: weekly coaching, culture and community, step-by-step systems. So if you lock in silver in May, you'll be walking into June with a plan, coaches, and a path to gold. This is how momentum starts. And once it starts, it snowballs. So I would be making sure your people know not only do they get a Plexus trucker hat, not only do they get the cash bonuses that are on the table if they go enroll 6 this month, they also can lock in a spot in this container. So I would make sure to invite anybody who's open to sharing a business to do that. All right. Chelsea, I think I took your slide.
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean, I'll just piggyback on that and kind of close this out and say, as we're kind of wrapping up May and closing out the incentive this month, closing out this current gold group, I would say your sole focus for the next 3 weeks should be these 3 things. Is number one, hitting the incentive for yourself, because leaders go first and we grow our teams first, and taking personal responsibility for your business and bringing in new customers and new business builders to your organization. If you haven't already ranked gold, that should obviously be on your radar. Like, who can you help get a +1? Who can you help get to silver? And then finding at least one team member to join you for the next group. And if you have to pick between the 3, you shouldn't have to pick. But if you have to pick between the 3, I would say finding at least one person to do this next gold group with you, because customers are going to come and go. And if you keep recruiting and spinning the wheel of just recruiting new customers every single month, you're going to be playing with the same 100 points for the rest of your life. You've got to find people to do this with you. Full stop. If you want to grow an organization, you've got to find people to do this with you. And this is the best space to train them and show them how to do this right from the get-go. So 3 weeks, y'all, I'd be sending that message. And I know Christina can share that in the comments whenever she posts this. But I would also just send a voice message along with that and share your heart and say, listen, this is why I think you'd be amazing in this. I think you are XYZ. I think you'd love what I do and love our team because of XYZ. I have no idea if this is something you'd be interested in, but I'd love to shoot you some information. I'd love to give you a call for 5 minutes tomorrow and see if this could be something that could bless your family. Let them hear your heart and then get on the phone with them and share exactly what they're walking into. Give them a path forward. But and y'all have heard me say this probably in one of the trainings. People are always thinking two things when they're thinking about joining this with you. If they're considering it, and they have two objections, and they are either they can't do what you do, or you can't help them get what they want with this. Those are the two big objections whirling around in the back of their mind, and usually a mixture of the two. So if we can bridge the gap and say, listen, I've got a proven system to plug you into. You're already halfway there. You've already met them halfway on their objections. When you get on the call, you're going to pour gasoline on their belief, and you're going to talk them up and share all the reasons that they would be good at this. But you got to be willing to make those connections and got to be willing to get out there and bring some new people in. The system only works if there's people in it. It only works if you're plugging people in. So we are so excited. I think I'm more excited for the second round than I was the first because we know that it works. We know what it looks like when people work this system, like Libby and Elena, who ranked up last month, and the whole handful of girls that we did coaching calls with last week who are killing it. So we're so excited to hopefully see everybody on this call. Join us in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Libby, thank you. Chelsea, thanks. See y'all
Thanks for having us.
later. Yeah. Bye, guys.